Okay, so now that this fire has died down a little bit, just wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys about some things. So just want to show you what I do to start a fire in the woods. Now, a couple things you want to notice. I did create this fire right here on the forest floor. There's a lot of pine straw. This stuff's very flammable. So if I was actually doing this in a survival situation, I would clear a much larger area. You want to get anything flammable away from the area. Now the floor is soft, it's moist, so nothing down here is going to catch on fire. But again, these leaves, pine straw, it's very flammable. You just want to be mindful of your surroundings. You don't want to start a forest fire. So I would clear a much larger area. You could also put some rocks around the fire. It's not really going to stop the flames from catching something, but it will kind of help to keep it contained a little bit. Now, as far as starting the fire, a couple things. I use this InstaFire fire starter. This stuff's very cheap. You can usually get it for about $1 a bag, and one bag will make several fires. If you know what you're doing, you really don't need a lot of it. I probably used more than what I would have needed, but you can make a lot of fire starters with a lot of fire with one bag like that. So I wanted to show that. There's a lot of other products, so you don't have to go with this product. You can go with really anything. I also could have used pine straw. This would have worked probably just as well. This time of year, the pine straw is very dry, very flammable. I could have used that as well, but just kind of want to show you something very quick and easy. Again, the idea, guys, in a survival situation isn't to make things harder on yourself. We're not really trying to prove to anybody how capable we are. We want to have a reliable heat source that we can cook our food, that we can keep ourselves warm with as little things as possible and things that are as reliable as possible. So a fire starter like this, it's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. Why not? So I like to use it. I also went ahead and used the ferro rod. Now, I showed you this stuff in the last video. Unfortunately, this company, Aeversol, I did reach out to them, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like they're in business anymore. But there are many companies that make products just like these. There's really nothing proprietary to it. So I showed you this rope. It's kind of like a wax rope. You can see what I did was I just frayed the end out a little bit. I used my ferro rod to light the rope. It lights very quickly. And then you use that rope. It kind of works as like a little torch, and you can light your fire with it. When you're done, you pull it back in, puts it out. This is something great. I've seen a lot of people trying to use a ferro rod to start twigs or pine straw or things like that, and they get frustrated because really you're just dealing with little sparks of that metal, and it goes out quickly. But if you light something like this first and then use this to light your fire, it makes things a lot easier. Something I want to mention as well, I had a viewer comment in the last video that they like to bring like a little Bic lighter with them, and I'm totally on board with that. I do the same thing. I bring some Bic lighters as well. Again, guys, we don't need to make it harder on ourselves. The quick and easiest and most reliable way to start a fire is the way that you want to go with. The reason why I like to use ferro rods from time to time is because I want to stay I want to stay fresh in my mind. I want to know that I can use it, because something about a ferro rod that a Bic lighter doesn't have is it will last forever, and it can get wet, it can fall on the ground, you can step on it, it's very resilient. Lighters are great, but they could run out, water can damage them, you could step on them. So by all means bring one along, but I would also make sure that you know how to use a ferro rod and get good at it in case you need to. In this scenario, let's say it's more of a survival situation where maybe I have to sustain myself for several days in the wilderness, and I'm going to need to bring some protection along. Now, obviously, I do have my handgun. This is a Glock 23 40 Smith & Wesson. This is a great side arm to bring along. It'll stop, most animals, but it's not going to be super reliable for taking wild game to eat with. So I like to have, if at all possible, a rifle with me, and I actually have one in the bag here, so I'll show you here. So inside this bag, I do have a rifle. This is a 300 Blackout. It is a Palmetto State Armory. It's a 7.5-inch barrel, and I do have a Sylvan tactical folder on it. So that brace will collapse down, makes a very small package, and as you saw, fits comfortably inside a backpack like this. Something like this is very light, it's very short, it's very compact. You can carry it in your backpack nice and easy, but it gives you rifle capabilities. I'm going to be able to take something a lot further with this. I'm going to be able to take something a lot bigger, like a white-tailed deer. And I'm going to be able to defend myself a lot better with this. Obviously, it holds full 30-round magazines. I do have supersonic 110 grain ammo in there. Like I said, works great on pretty much any game in this area. Even, you know, black bear. We don't see many of those, but it would work in there for that as well. Just to give you a better look here, like I said, it is a Palmetto State Armory upper and lower receiver. Fairly inexpensive, 7.5-inch barrel. I do have a couple things that I changed. I did put an ambi safety selector on it. I do have a Timney trigger. These triggers are very crisp, and I like using those a lot. So this is a Timney flat bow trigger. I do have a Magpul MOE K2 Plus grip. I mentioned these in the last video. They have more of a rubbery finish to them. It also has the same compartment. I don't have anything in it at the moment, but the same compartment as the last one I showed you. I mentioned the Sylvan Arms folder. Just has a pistol brace on the back of it, and then I have a Holosun red dot. Like I said in the last video, I do like to run EOTechs in this situation for like more of a survival scenario where I might be out for an extended period of time without access to things like batteries. Something like a Holosun red dot, very inexpensive. This was maybe a couple $100, $200-300 at most, and battery life is phenomenal. This will probably last forever. It does have a Radium Raptor ambi charging handle. Let me go ahead and clear. So it is clear. So it has the Radium Raptor LT. This is actually the Palmetto State Armory Saber line ambi charging handle. And that's about it. So not a lot of bells and whistles. This is something that is fairly inexpensive, reliable, runs great. You can do a couple of the upgrades that I did, but they're really not necessary. A lot of Palmetto State Armory's products are reliable right out the box. Like I said, Holosun, a lot cheaper than EOTech. Battery life lasts forever. So if you're looking for a fairly inexpensive optic that's going to last you a long time, and it's going to be easy to throw on like more of a survival gun like this, Holosun is a great option. This is a green dot. I don't know what the battery life is, but I know it's a very long time. Just have a single point sling, something quick and easy. It's flexible, and then I guess we'll need to send that home. And then, like I said, packs very easily inside. So I still have my my bulletproof panel in there. Still have other things like my poncho. You can put a lot of stuff in here. And there you go. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. Wanted to do something a little bit different out here in the woods, show you how I start a fire. and go over another option for this bag, something that you can bring with you. I did want to remind you that I do have that black torch EDC bag that I'm giving away. So same as in the last video, just make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and then make sure that you follow me on my Instagram page. The link will be in a pinned comment. It will also be on my homepage. I will be using Instagram to pick the winner and communicate with you guys. So make sure that you do all those steps as well as follow me on Instagram. Otherwise, I won't really have any way of reaching out to you to let you know if you won the bag. All right, well, that does it for this video today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking to the end. Again, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It really supports me as I try to build the channel. I appreciate all you guys do, and I'll catch you in the next video.